Hello everyone, this is Kyle, and in today's video I want to talk about the major differences in grub damage and chinch bug damage. So these are the two main insects that we're seeing in our warm season turf grass right now, chinch bugs and grubs. So there's a couple of ways that you can identify these insects by the damage that they cause in your yards. So let's start out with grubs. Grubs actually feed on the roots of your grass, giving it the appearance of a drought-stressed yard. And it's almost like they create new sod all over again because they'll feed on the roots of your grass, and you can actually grab the grass and pull it up like it's a new block of sod that you just laid. And usually, if you do that, you'll see the grubs hanging out there in your soil. Usually a good giveaway that you have grubs feeding in your yard is that you're gonna have armadillos digging in your yard at nighttime. So you'll wake up the next morning, go out into your yard, and you'll see just little clumps of grass being pulled up. Well, most likely that's armadillos coming into your yard, sniffing out the grubs, and they're feeding on those grubs. Now, birds cause the same thing, but those little clumps are a lot smaller. So if you see little clumps of grass that are being pulled up in your yard by birds or whatever, most likely they're feeding on the grubs in your lawn. Now, grubs can cause long-term damage to your grass because they are damaging the roots of the grass. Now, they're not injecting any toxins or anything like that. They're just snipping the roots of the grass and essentially killing your grass in that way. Now, it's not extremely detrimental to your yard. You can put down an insecticide like Dilox is a really good insecticide for grubs, and kill those grubs and prevent them from causing any more damage. And then you want to water your lawn really well to help those roots recover so that you don't have any damage going into fall. Now, grubs feed at two different times of the year, usually in the springtime and then late summer and fall. In the middle of the summer, they're kind of going back through their life cycle. They're a little deeper in the soil and they're not feeding at that point. But spring and late summer, early fall are really the two times that I would recommend doing an insecticide treatment for grubs. Now let's get into chinch bugs. You will not be able to see chinch bugs in your yard. They're very small, about the size of a gnat. So if you're just looking down in your yard, they're very hard to see. I mean, if you know what you're looking for, you might be able to see. If they were in the palm of your hand, you would be able to see them. Just little black bugs about the size of a gnat. Now, chinch bugs can cause some detrimental damage to your yard. They don't really damage the roots of the grass. They hang out in the thatch layer of your lawn, and they use their piercing, sucking mouth parts, and they actually inject a toxin into the grass. Well, essentially, once that toxin gets into the grass, it prevents water and nutrients from flowing through your grass, then just killing the grass. So it's not able to take in water, so it just dies off. Now, it starts out as the appearance of drought damage. Now this summer, we've had plenty of rainfall. So if you see your grass yellowing or dying in certain areas, most likely it's not drought stress this time of year. Whereas in previous summers, the last two summers, we have been in a drought here in the South. We're in August right now. Last summer, we were in a severe drought at this time. Well, we're not in a drought anymore, so we're not seeing drought-stressed areas in yards. So if you have an area of your lawn that looks drought-stressed, most likely it's going to be chinch bugs. Now, they prefer zoysia lawns for some reason, but I have seen them, I have seen them do damage in Bermuda grass as well. With chinch bug damage, your grass will die off. You know, it starts out yellow, then it turns brown, and then it just dies off completely. And most of the time when I see it, it's not the whole yard. It may start out by the street or your driveway, or even in the middle of your yard. I've seen them start in all areas of the yard. But it does start out as that drought stress look, and then within a few weeks, that area is just completely dead. Now, it's hard to know that you have chinch bug damage until you see the damage, and it's a little too late. But you can apply an insecticide in these areas, and you really want to focus on the dead grass and the surrounding good grass around it, because that's where the chinch bugs are feeding. So treat that area with an insecticide, something with bifenthrin in it. A product called Talstar is really good, and it comes in a granular or a liquid form. If you use the granular form, make sure you water that in so it dissolves and kills the chinch bugs. Now going back to grubs, I think I mentioned Dilox is really the best product for killing grubs. And it comes in a sort of a flaky type insecticide. It's granular, but it's more flaky. So water that in as well. But you can treat both of these insects with an insecticide, just get it down, kill the insects, prevent them from spreading, and then you really just want to focus on recovery at this point. So just watering your yard on a regular basis will help the roots of the grass recover with both of these insects. Grub damage is a little easier to recover, even though they do snip the roots of the grass. There are some deeper grass roots that are going to be there that will produce new growth. So make sure you just water your yard really good. Maybe a light dose of fertilizer will help spark some new growth as well, but no heavy fertilizer, because remember, this is with grub damage, your lawn is treated sort of like it's new sod. So you don't want to apply a heavy layer of fertilizer because you could burn the grass. It's very weak at this stage. So water is your best friend. Just water regularly with both of these types of damage and your lawn should recover. Chinch bug damage is going to take longer to recover because the grass is pretty much dead when it gets to that point where you're not seeing any grass at all. But if you catch it early, if you catch it at that stage where it just looks like drought stress and your grass isn't dead yet, go ahead and treat it as soon as you identify that with some insecticide. Kill the chinch bugs and then just get water on your yard, and your lawn should recover fairly quickly. As long as you don't let it get to that completely dead stage, then it's a little too late. So if you have any questions, just ask me in the comment section. I'd be happy to help you identify. Send me some pictures and I'll help you identify whether or not it's chinch bug damage or grub damage. And even another insect that you might be seeing this time of year is armyworms. Now, we haven't seen any armyworms yet this summer, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be right around the corner. So other insects like spittlebugs and zoysia lawns can also cause that yellowing, drought-stressed look. So there's so many types of insects that could cause damage to your yard. But if you have any questions, just ask me in the comment section. I'd be happy to help you. Thank you for watching.